I've had it up to here with people thinking they can try their luck with me. I'm warning you once and for all, so take it in. Tell them boys that I'm on job. Tell them boys that I don't stop. Tell them boys they can bring 10 of their men, I'll still win against the odds.
Hell, this looks spectacular.
Hyundai with the N-Line has brought in a glimpse of hope into the heart of the enthusiasts.
But if you are a petrolhead that's approaching the age of 40, you have a dog and a kid and a wife that doesn't let you use words like coilovers and lowering springs and valved exhaust in the house anymore, then
it certainly looks like the enthusiast/middle life crisis approaching, but it's got big 18s, it's got big enough openings in the bumpers, it's got a diffuser.
But you know what I'm on, please don't act shocked.
And it has character. And the one thing every petrolhead in the world wants is a car with character. Doesn't matter if it's a little... If it has character, it will be loved.
Petrolheads want dual exhaust, check. Petrolheads want cool colors, check. Red accents, check. Black interiors, check. Red accents on black interiors, double check.
So tell them boys that I'm on job. Tell them boys that I don't stop.
It even has a big hot hatch or WRC inspired spoiler at the back, and it's not just this piece that they've stuck on added on. This piece is different too, which means this piece on the tailgate is also different. It's almost as if the Koreans studied the German handbook and then improved it. But they improved it in their way.
And by their way, I mean throw everything at it. Screens, gadgets, gizmos. You have comfort features. You have safety features. You have glitz features. And you have enough entertainment to entertain yourself every time you get in.
Tell them boys that I'm on job. Tell them boys that I don't stop.
Now the N in N-Line stands for Namyang, Hyundai's test track, and the Nürburgring, which I don't need to explain to any of you. But what I think the Creta N-Line is the glitz and glamour of Gangnam in Seoul and the subtle lunacy that you get in a place like Munich. But all of this is all peacocking if the Creta N-Line can't do the one thing that most German cars do quite well, and that is drive well.
Bigger than you. Come against me, any man gets smooth. Still the man, been the man since you can't cheat me up, I ain't that you.
First, the bad news. It just doesn't hit as hard as the i20 N-Line hit the first time I went and drove that car. That has a raspier exhaust note. This doesn't. Those dual tips at the back, they're just visual upgrades. But I think if you're buying an N-Line, you'd like a car that's slightly louder. Now, thank God they haven't done the fake exhaust note pumping in from the speakers. They've kept it to being a stock exhaust, exactly as the standard Creta is. But I'd have had a louder exhaust. I think that's a bit of an opportunity lost. And when you come to suspension settings and the steering settings, they claim that there is a percentage increase in how everything is, stiffer, more feedback. Honestly, not that much.
Bigger than that, I don't break your door. Bigger than you. Come against me, any man gets screwed. Still the man, been the man since you can't cheat me up, I ain't that you.
In fact, I asked them, and this is what they told me. Quote verbatim.
For the Creta N-Line, the primary focus has been to offer agile handling with optimized ride comfort for the performance enthusiast. To achieve this, the steering and suspension has been specially tuned with the 18-inch alloy wheels.
Yes, I don't care if you don't race.
For ride comfort, a special valve mechanism has been used which optimizes the shock absorber damping force, giving the Creta N-Line planted ride with confident cornering. Steering setup is tuned to give a sporty feel in sports driving mode.
One of the positives though is the fact that they've gone to a larger wheel and they've also gone concurrently to a slightly lower profile tire. Now there is a negative to that. It's going to be a more expensive tire to change if and when you do need to change it, but a bigger wheel first looks better and second always has that little bit better in terms of handling proportions, and this does just a little bit more. But again, we needed the twisty roads around Pune to actually test this out. We don't have any twisty roads. We have a nice long, very, very long, very, very smooth straightway the new Mumbai-Delhi Expressway. But that gives me a chance to test something else that the Germans are usually extremely good at.
Highway cruisability.
Yeah, if you wanna come from my front, come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it. If you wanna come for the top one there, come get it, come get it, come get it.
Now, one of the things we did talk about when we drove the standard Creta is how planted, how much more mature it feels. This feels pretty much exactly the same. There's a bit more NVH at very high speeds. Not that you should be doing those very high speeds in any case. Speed limits, guys, please. But that exists if you do want to go fast, maybe on a closed road or whatever. Apart from that though, as a car that's stable, that feels nice and planted to drive at faster, higher cruising speeds that we are looking at on roads like this, which are popping up all over the country month and month on, it pretty much feels great.
Everything live in here.
Your SUV could be a backroad barnstormer or a highway cruiser, but it needs its engine to be in the best of health. And that's why we recommend Castrol Magnatec SUV engine oil with heavy load protection. This fully synthetic engine oil, having the latest API specs, is ready for your BS6 SUVs as well, ensuring non-stop engine protection from every start.
Live in here, everything live in here.
And we are back to discuss the one feature that Rohan Albal will totally and utterly fall in love with and approve of.
Yup, petrol heads and Instagram warriors, you can now rejoice because Hyundai has offered the Creta N-Line with a manual.
It is a 6-speed and it does its job. It has a good knob, but personally I still think the auto suits this car and this package a lot better. And honestly, that's the one I would have.
Come get it, come get it, come get it. Only real ones in my section.
Okay, takeaways, conclusion, finale, however you want to call this. 1. I think now this is the best compact SUV that you can get in the market in terms of the way it looks. Now this is my opinion. You can feel free to disagree and that's okay. We can always have a productive dialogue. 2nd, I really like these interiors. They are very cool. I'm a big sucker for black interiors with red accents everywhere, and this works for me. Again, personal opinion, but it is what it is. 3rd, and this is important, Hyundai could and should have done more with the exhaust note. This is just too quiet. Maybe a bit of a blow-off valve, slightly louder exhaust, anything, something should have been done. But overall though, look at the price difference between this and the standard car. 30,000-40,000 rupees at most. And I'm sorry, but you could spend a little bit more and get something that looks nicer, has nicer interiors, has a bigger wheel and tire combination, and overall is a much cooler product. And if you don't think that 30,000-40,000 rupees is well spent, then we have something to really disagree upon. Chalo then. See all of you guys in the comments.
If you wanna come from my front, come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it. If you wanna come for the top one there, come get it, come get it, come get it.